Hi everyone, this video is about the different worksheets that we're going to be using in this class that you're going to find on D2L, but I've alluded to them in some of the other lectures and things that you've watched, but this video is really going to go in depth. And you're going to be using these a lot all through the trimester as we go through those different areas for your musculoskeletal research project. Okay, so here we are on the NYCC website. Be sure that you go to D2L either using your student portal or if you have a URL link, click on that. Okay, so make sure you use your username and password. And here we are in D2L. Click on Fundamentals for Chiropractic Research Literacy. Again, I go over this a little bit more in depth in one of the other videos. So we're quickly going to go through this. Resources, content, and then over here on the left-hand side, once again, you're going to see the syllabus, the assignment checklist, the bibliography, and the worksheets, which we're on, okay? So here you're going to revise and submit these worksheets a number of times under the appropriate module for that week. Each of the developing question sheets relates to the appropriate musculoskeletal research area for that week. So it's the first week we're going to be doing conservative care, and then we're going to be doing next week allopathic care, and then we're going to be doing philosophy and history of either conservative or allopathic care concerning your musculoskeletal research project. So it correlates the module, and for most of them, it correlates with the area for the musculoskeletal research project. Okay. Each of the worksheets, the concept block and Boolean, you will need to fill out. I actually went ahead and created an example worksheet for each of the developing question sheets for conservative care, allopathic care, philosophy and history, treatment, management, so on and so forth. Okay? All right. So here, developing question sheet, conservative care. All right, so we open this up. All right, and you can see right here. All right, so I have developing your questions. This is one, so this is the conservative care area. And this is what I talked about in the lecture video, is that write about what you think you know about your topic, but just a few sentences. And you can go to Wikipedia, because remember, we have to do some of that background information on our topic. You can also look at your notes, look at books, and just things that you have learned thus far in your classes. And then for number 2, I want you to think of significant words that describe your topic. So what words or phrases are used as you do some of your background reading on your topic? So let's say you go to Wikipedia and let's just use the broad topic of chiropractic, and you find out that spinal manipulation, that's a phrase that's also used in conjunction with that. So you would put that word and or phrase here. And I ask you for a minimum of 3 keywords or phrases, all right? And as we go through the trimester, I'm going to show you some other places that you'll be able to add these different words in. But again, just kind of think of some synonyms is really what you're looking for to describe your topic, okay? And then for number 3, you start to develop your questions and what you want to answer. On conservative care, you need to have a minimum of 3 questions. Same thing for allopathic, same thing for philosophy and history. They're all really organized the same way, so there is some consistency. So use the why, how, what, where, when, and who if you want as you formulate your questions. These questions should come from the keywords or phrases that you found during background research and what you know about your topic, okay? These research questions will change a lot, and that's encouraged and expected. Please remember that we're just beginning our research topic. So as I stated before, you're really going to be becoming an expert in this area. Some of you might have some experience with your topic, or you've learned a little bit about it. But again, we're going to be taking it to the next level and becoming an expert. So once you come up with those 3, and I have 3 here as a minimum, I've had some students come up with several questions for this area for number 3, but you need a minimum of 3, okay? And then out of those, pick one of the questions from the above and make it answerable. And you're going to hear me say a lot about that as well. Not just what question do you have, what information are you actually looking for, but you need to make it answerable. All right. So what I mean by answerable, and I have an example here, is what chiropractic techniques aid in resolving torticollis? Okay, so that is an answerable question. Remember I talked about, in the annotation, and how that's going to go, is that you're looking for scholarly articles that answer that question. So the question has to be an answerable question. So as we do our research, and as we become experts in our musculoskeletal topic, it's going to become a lot clearer what an answerable question is, okay? But again, this is just your first try at it. This is the first time we're doing it. It's going to take a little bit of time before we become experts in creating that answerable question. And again, the answerable question is something that you're going to have to do in once you're in clinic as well. All right, so then you just put your question down here. So here I have developing questions, conservative care, and then what exactly that answerable question is, okay? And then once you do that, you save it and you upload it to the appropriate module, okay? I'm going to go over that in a little bit. The other worksheet that I want to talk about for you in depth, as you can see here, there are the different developing question worksheets for allopathic, philosophy, treatment, management, anatomy, and so on. The other thing that you're going to have to do in Module 2 is the concept block. So this sheet will also be changing as we find various topics and subjects and words to help us answer our answerable question. The concept block and the words you use will help as we navigate our way through the various databases, okay? Words matter, and you will see that more now as we do our research. The biggest reason that we do a concept block and come up with different words is because the way that you describe something and the way that I describe something and the way that the database has things indexed and organized and the way that the author might describe something are completely different. Back in the day, when you look at a textbook, you can go to the index and you can see that there's a whole listing of words there. And prior to the internet, there was an editor and they would go through and there was a logical and there was a set word or words that went with each topic, okay? That doesn't exist anymore. Because of the electronic environment, everybody puts, different words or different spins on their research. So again, you have to think of how do you describe something, how maybe a medical doctor describes something, how an editor would describe it, how a librarian for the subject headings, how they describe it. So that's really what the concept block is about. So let me show it to you. So the first one, I give you an example for the conservative care. So you can get an understanding as to what this is. So again, a concept block takes the main words from the topic sentence or question and organizes them into columns. So you're taking the developing question sheet, okay, and you're filling all of that out. You're doing the background information. In number 2, you're coming up with different words. In number 3, you're coming up with all these different questions. And then number 4, you're asking yourself, what is that final question, okay? So then you take that final question and I explain it here. The students then list all related words under the main heading. You can use the words from area number 2 from the developing question sheet, but it is encouraged to add others here as you search in the databases, okay? And again, because this is your first go around at it, you're not going to have as many words as you will when we revise it or the next time or as we go through things, okay? So here's the example that I have. What chiropractic techniques aid in resolving torticollis? If you remember, this is the same example that I have in the developing question sheet under conservative care. The above is for the conservative care, but you will do a concept block for each of the other areas for your musculoskeletal project, as I explained, okay? So let's stay with this. So my question is, what chiropractic techniques aid in resolving torticollis? So I take those main words, okay? The main words are chiropractic, children, and torticollis. Okay. Now, you think of different words for chiropractor or chiropractic. You have chiropractic, we have alternative medicine, and we have therapeutics. And then we think of different words for children. Okay, so we have child, we have pediatric. If you wanted, let's say you wanted to do adults, you could do adult, and then you could maybe have male or female or geriatric or whatever. And then the different words for torticollis, okay? There's Rhineck and there's Loxia as well. Those words are associated and used with the term torticollis, okay? All right. So again, this is just an example, all right? Now let's go back of what, this is just an example of what your concept block will look like. Let's go back, and I want to show you, okay, here's what you're going to have to do in your fill-in. And again, this is all part of Module 2. So again, I explained what the concept block is. You're going to write your topic sentence or your answerable question. Remember, it comes from number 4 from your developing question sheet. And then just come up with different words to describe your main subject headings, okay? Now, again, I know this is just your first go around. You're only doing these 2 worksheets for Module 2, and you have to upload them, and then I'm going by Friday, and then I'm going to look at them, make suggestions and comments, and send them back to you. And then you're going to revise them. So again, as we go through this process, things are going to become much, much clearer. Right now, we're just starting off. We're starting off with conservative care of your musculoskeletal topic. Make sure that you fill out the developing question sheet for conservative care, and then make sure that you download and do this worksheet for the concept block. All right, now, next week I'm going to talk a little bit more about the 3rd worksheet that you have to do, which is the Boolean phrase worksheet. Right now this isn't going to make much sense to you because we're not there yet. But essentially what it is that you're going to be creating search strings that you're going to be using in the databases. So we have EBSCO, we have Gale, we have PubMed, and also you can also use them in on the internet and with Google or whatever. Okay, but again, you are not going to be worrying about this for Module 2. So let's go to Module 2. All right, and here you can see we're going to have you can upload your developing question for your conservative care and upload your concept block for conservative care. And they're right here. And again, I give links to it in case you don't want to go to this worksheets on the left-hand side. You can click right on it and get to it. And here's your concept block for the fill-in. Okay? All right. Take your time. Don't worry. It doesn't have to be perfect. Follow the different steps. Make sure you do the developing question sheet first, and then second you do the concept block, and then upload those into Module 2. I will give you feedback, and then we'll go from there. Okay? And again, these things will become clearer as we move through the trimester. All right? So have fun. Enjoy the process. Remember, we're just at the beginning of it, so don't get nervous and don't get worried, and you don't have to be perfect. All right? Take your time, and always let me know if you have any questions. You can email me at snutting@nycc.edu. Okay? Thank you. Have a good day.